years, and I wasn't a fan. I was basically obsessed with the show. and to be on the show myself, and to see myself in the same place that they all were in before, it was such an amazing experience. And the exposure was great, and I got to meet so many new people, different mentalities, different personalities, different nationalities, everything. It was really cool. Amazing experience. And you're living the dream now, I guess, because this is what you've wanted to do ever since you were a child. Not sitting in the studio speaking to me, but the music career. It's been what you've always wanted to do, isn't it?
It has been. I mean, I always knew I wanted this. I didn't know how I could achieve it, but fortunately I did, and I'm really, really happy.
That's incredible. And let's talk about the first track to hit the mainstream, which is Mission Is You, which is such an amazing song. It must have been so good to actually get your music out there, on CD, on MP3, to radio stations, to TV channels, for the first time.
I think the first single is probably the best experience ever. Just from recording in the studio to going and filming the music video to promoting it and meeting the fans for the first time and having the signing of the CD. I mean, every detail of that experience was just amazing, and I don't think there's anything as amazing as the first single. And the feedback was great, and the positive feedback was basically what led me to record a second single.
Sure.
So I'm really, really happy.
I've got to ask, how crazy must it be to switch on the radio or switch on TV and see yourself there or hear yourself there? How is that? That must be...
I want to tell you that, I mean, I kind of got used to watching myself on TV. At first it was very awkward. I could never, my parents, would turn on the TV and watch me in an interview, and I would just leave the room. I couldn't. And now I got used to it. But the funny thing is that I never heard myself on the radio except for after this single. During Mission Is You, I would never listen. Whenever I was on the radio, I couldn't. And
really?
now I heard it for the first time, and it was a bit awkward, but it was just such a nice feeling. And it's just very weird. It's just that I heard myself on the radio after the second single, not even the first one.
That's amazing. So you would literally, if you heard it, you would turn it off, or you would leave the room? Or...
Now I'm a bit more used to it. I mean, on TV, I can watch myself on TV now. And I'm getting used to the radio.
Did you ever have one of those awkward moments? Maybe you were in a mall with your friends, or you were going out partying or something like that, and you saw a TV and you were on it, or you heard your song play. Does that happen? Does that feel weird? Because you must kind of think, oh my God, that's me, and everybody knows it.
I did have. I mean, I hear my song play sometimes. I know that one time I was at the mall with my friends. I went to buy a couple of CDs from a store. And a couple of minutes before I was going in, I could hear my song play inside. My friends kept making fun of me because my friends really don't take these things seriously.
Yeah.
So we waited until the song was done until I could go inside. It was just so awkward going into a store and hearing my music play. It was really funny. And my friends really don't take these things seriously. So we just waited outside, and it was embarrassing, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's fun to know that you go into a place and you hear your music in one place and it wasn't even planned. It's just such a good experience, and it's such a nice feeling.
I bet it is. And as well, the video, which was basically you following a guy around the city. Do you find it's actually the other way around now, because you are a recognizable place and recognizable face, pardon me, and people know you through Star Academy, and they've seen you on TV? Do you feel like, when you're walking down the street, that people are kind of looking and being like, that's Lara Skanda, that's...
Well, yeah,
do you get that? Yeah.
It happens sometimes. It happens. It doesn't happen all the time, to a crazy extent, but when it does happen, it's a nice feeling. I still get this, I'm still kind of in the state of shock, even though it's been 2 years, because it's nice to know that people know who you are, that not just that they know who you are, but the fact that they respect you, they like your music, whether they like me through the show or after the show. It's a very nice feeling, and it's really nice to know that you have people that support you. Of course, it's a bit embarrassing sometimes. I don't know how to deal with it. I get really, really shy.
Yeah.
I get very shy. So I come off a bit too shy sometimes, but I like it. I love it.
So how is it when you're performing live? Because of course you performed not long ago alongside Akon when he was here in Lebanon.
I did.
And there was a lot of people there, a lot of people.
9,000.
Wow.
Yes.
How was that, to step out in front of that many people and perform your song? Did the nerves kick in, or is it when you get on stage, do you kind of block it out? How does that work?
This is how it works with me. I get very nervous throughout the entire process of getting ready for my performance, and it's up until I get on that stage
I'm still nervous. But as soon as the music starts and I have the mic in my hand, then all the nerves really go away, because I've always been like that. I've always loved being on stage. I've always loved performing. But the nerves have to come. But for me, I'm lucky enough to have the nerves come right before, than rather throughout the entire performance.
So that's good. At least you get them out of the way. Yeah.
It's good. You have to have nerves, unless it's not going to be as exciting. But it's good that the nerves come before, and then they just kind of let go after.
Ease away. That's the important thing. Let's talk about the new track, Chains, which is an awesome track. We've been playing it on NRJ. How was that to record the second after Mission Is You?
The second track, the second single, Chains, I think is very different from the first one. It was also a really good experience, coming back into the studio after, like I said, the positive feedback from the first single. It's a very different song. I find it to be a very empowering song. I think the lyrics, or if you pay attention, the lyrics are very empowering. It was so much fun to record. The chorus is really catchy. It's not a difficult, especially for
it's one of those that just sticks in your mind all day long.
Exactly, and especially for an English singer in the Middle East, the chorus the song has to be something that people can always, kind of remember. And the chorus is very catchy, which I love. And the video was so much fun to shoot. I loved it.
Excellent. That's so cool. So you're really getting into things right now. And of course you've got an album planned on the way.
I do.
So what's that going to be like? Is that going to be kind of a bit of Mission Is You style? Is it going to be more Chain style? Is it going to be somewhere in between? What have you got planned for that?
The album, I think, is going to be very exciting, very unexpected. Because I feel, and the feedback that I got as well, was that Chains and Mission Is You are two different types of songs. They're not very much the same.
Yeah, they are very different.
They are.
Some artists, you hear songs and, each song kind of sounds like the other, but they are two very different tracks, aren't they?
They are, and that's the thing that I've always said, is that I'm still experimenting. I'm still new on the scene. I feel like there's a difference between experimenting and warming up on your audience. I feel that I'm experimenting with my music. I'm trying different sounds, and all the sounds at the end of the day have that touch that I give to them. But I think that's what the album's going to be about. It's going to be about me really, finding myself with my music, and it's going to be different. I mean, some things are going to be really pop, like Chains and Mission Is You, and we might add like one Arabic song because everyone has been asking for that, or maybe an English song with like a bit of an Oriental twist, which is what I'm aiming to do. There's so much. I mean, a quarter of the album is ready, not even half of it yet. So we're still in the brainstorming process.
So there's still plenty of time to come up with new ideas.
There's so much more time to come up with new things.
Excellent. And do we know a sort of provisional release date yet, or is that kind of still a bit under wraps?
It is. It's. We're not really sure yet for a couple of reasons, because we haven't finished recording all the songs. We will be actually very soon, but it's also because I have a couple of projects hopefully coming along the way. So all the dates have to be set, and I'm just hoping for the best.
You're certainly staying busy then. Yeah, there's a lot. It's awesome, and Lara Skanda. We're going to speak to her a little bit more a little later on the show in around about 15 minutes. Lebanon on Monday, raising money for Tamana, a special charity which helps make the wishes come true of children with critical illnesses. Make sure you go along. Tickets available from Virgin Ticketing. It would be amazing to see you there. So we're going to get some LMFAO on real soon, Black Eyed Peas and Rihanna, and then we're back in conversation with the lovely Lara Skanda. With Lara Skanda right now, and Lara, what I want to ask is, do you ever Google yourself?
Actually, I'm not ashamed to say that I do Google myself. Not all the time at all, because I'm actually the type of person that I get very scared of, what will pop up. I take bad criticism and the good ones as well. I try to concentrate on the good stuff. I don't sit down and just Google myself randomly, but from time to time,
3 in the morning, just clicking your mouse. What are they saying about me?
When Chains first came out, that's all I did.
Yeah.
I seriously, for the first 3 days, I would just sit down and I just wanted to, know what people were saying. I wanted to know if there were websites that were writing about it and all that. So I do it from time to time. But I usually get very scared before I do it.
Well, if you do Google yourself, you've probably seen that online you were in the top 100 sexiest Arab women poll. Is that kind of, because you're kind of blushing now, was that kind of was it kind of a compliment, or was it a little bit strange? Because you're at number 2.
I was number 2.
At number 2,
That's
behind
a big
Haifa.
deal. Yeah.
That's amazing. So out of all of the people of Arab origin around the world, you're ahead of Shakira. How cool is that? But that's that must be something a little bit strange to kind of see that, because at one point you were just a student at AUC, just doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you pop up on a poll like that.
You know what? I think that, it was I can say that it was a fun experience to go through, having, seeing people vote for me and keep on voting, the whole time just for that title. I usually, when I'd be nominated, a year ago I was nominated for a music award and I won, and that was so exciting, and I was so happy when all the fans were going crazy, just to keep voting. And that was so funny that it was such a big deal to my fans for me to win this title, or at least to get second place. I think that, at the time as well when I won, I had just turned 19. I was 19, and I don't know, I think, of course it's a compliment.
It's just
but the word sexy is a very different. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it's I don't know. I can't speak from I just can't comment on it. I don't know.
Well, you know what? You're a darling, and you deserve to be there. So, how's uni going, by the way? Have you finished at AUC now, or are you still working?
No, I'm still studying at AUC. Wow. I took a year off for Star Academy, so I'm a year behind. So I have 2 years left. And I'm taking my time. I'm doing really well, thank God.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be very difficult to juggle work and to juggle my studies as well. But I have to study. Obviously, I have to go to university. But I love my work. I'll never give it up. So I'm taking my time. I'm studying mass communication, broadcasting.
Wow. Oh, you'll be taking my job soon.
I'm going to come and work
Lara
with you
Skander on NRJ. I'll be heading back to England without a job. But that's so cool. And how do you manage to actually fit it all in now? Because you're kind of traveling all around the world. Sometimes you're in the United States, sometimes you're here in Lebanon, other times you're in Egypt. Is it a matter of just, when you're on the plane, just fitting as much studying as you can between shows and between recordings? Is that how you have to do it, really?
Well, for me, it's simply just self-discipline and time management. I'm not very good with time management, so I'm kind of behind sometimes on everything, not just studies, but work, I have my producer emailing me sometimes going you haven't sent me the song yet, you haven't sent me this yet. So I'm really working on myself. I think it requires a lot of self-discipline and a lot of, good time management, and I keep crossing my fingers that one day I'll be able to know how to do both.
That would be when you master it, when you're all sorted there. So let me ask, there's a lot of people out there who were kind of like you maybe 3-4 years ago, really wanted to break into music and really wanted to be, make a name for themselves, record tracks, make people dance, make people smile. And what's the advice that you would give to somebody who's in that situation?
You know what? I think that the two things that I always say about this, not just this industry, but how to succeed, is that like I said, you need a lot of self-discipline. I believe that if you don't have any self-discipline, you won't know how to get anywhere. You really know how to control everything around you. You have to know what you want. I think that it also takes a lot of luck. And it's sometimes a bad thing, sometimes a good thing, but I do believe that luck plays a big role in it, because I know that there are so many talented artists that haven't got their chance yet, and they deserve it so much. I think that, you just have to keep working at it. I don't believe in giving up at all, because if I believed in that, then I wouldn't have been here today, because it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of sacrifices, but not too many sacrifices, because you don't want to lose who you are. I think that's the crucial thing. I think that's the most important thing, because some people get so caught up in the hype of it all that they just lose so much sense of who they are. And it sounds really cliche, but it's very true.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I really think that's very important. I think that's the most important advice I would give someone, that, do whatever you want to do to succeed. Work hard, hopefully you'll have all the luck you can have, but just don't lose sense of who you are and where you came from.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, it's so good to have you here, Lara, today.
Thank you.
And of course, we're going to get the song on the radio right now. We're going to play Chains. So that's real cool, and we can't wait to hear the new stuff that's going to come from the album. And of course, if we want to keep in touch with you, the best way to do it, I guess, is laraskander.com.
Yes.
On Facebook as well. And you're on Twitter as well, aren't you?
I am on Twitter. I'm new to Twitter.
Oh,
so
you just
I'm
started tweeting?
Yes, a couple of months ago, but I'm still not very familiar with it. I try to tweet as much as I can, and but I'm very active on Facebook on my fan page because I've had it for the last 3 years. And I'm active on both, but you can keep in touch on either. So
see, I'm still not very good at Twitter. I've had Twitter now since, I would say, maybe about 7 months. Only last month I learned to see how people, when they do that at thing and they tag you in, I only just learned how to see, like, friends had left me messages from before Christmas. Happy Christmas, dude! And I'm like, well, that's a bit late. It's June. But, it's Twitter, Lara Skandar on there. Just run a search. Facebook as well, laraskandar.com. So good to have you here. And remember,
thank you so much.
Anytime that you're back in the area, make sure to drop by because we'd love to see you and we'd love to see how it's going.
I will, for sure. And thank you so much. And I know that you guys have been very supportive about playing Chains on the radio. And, I'm really happy because most of my friends would just text me and be like, it's on the radio now, it's on NRJ and all that. So I'm really, really happy. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. And as somebody who's into broadcasting, would you like to announce your song on the radio right now?
I've actually never tried it. I haven't gone there yet, but I could try.
Go for it.
Okay. Hi, this is Lara Skandar. You're listening to my new single, Chains.
Before it was